Does anyone have a question for Mr. Zubrin? Yes, sir, you in the back. Speak up, please.
Okay, so first of all, thank you and Oz and the whole team so much for this project and this opportunity for broadening the conversation around the world on extraterrestrial colonization. My question is, if this is started as a one-way trip to Mars and habitat is formed and there are colonies on Mars, could at some later point in time a return vehicle be landed on Mars if, for whatever reason, the Mars colonists want to return to Earth?
So the question was, if this is started as a one-way mission, could a future option, because of follow-on missions, allow the original colonists, if they desired to return to Earth?
Okay. Look, I believe in order for this venture to succeed, or any venture like it to succeed, the key to it is going to be building up a large base of support on Earth, okay? If you look at some of the most noteworthy, most bold colonization ventures that have happened on Earth in the past, such as, for example, the Pilgrims going to Massachusetts from Holland, or the Mormons going to Utah, for example. These rather spectacular, daring moves, they were all enabled by having a large home front organization which raised the resources to finance the venture. The colonists were financed by people back home. I think that to execute something like this, what is needed is a global organization. Well, it doesn't have to be global, but it probably would be. But an extensive organization, put it that way, of people who support it and will raise the money to launch it and sustain it. In other words, I made that point earlier. The key to a Mars One type effort is not just raising the money for that first mission, okay? And this is why I'm skeptical of the media income approach. I think you might be, it's conceivable someone could raise the money for one mission to Mars for meteorites. I don't think you can raise the money to sustain a colony and keep sending people and more equipment and everything on meteorites. You need to have a base in place. And I think this is doable. I mean, think about this for a minute. There's 7 billion people on this planet. 1 billion of them live in the advanced sector, where people have money to spend on stuff other than their necessities of life. And I think it's quite clear that at least 10% of those people, and I would think it might be more like 30%, but we'll use 10 of those people, believe that it's important for the future that humans expand into space. That's 100 million people who believe in the importance of doing this. If those people could be organized, 100 million people times $100 a year would be $10 billion a year. That'd be enough to finance the colonization of the solar system, okay, including not just Mars, but and doing, you know, one-way missions and sending more people and more immigrants and everything. But yes, developing Earth return systems as required when it's desired to introduce such capabilities into the architecture. Okay, you have the money, you have a private space program committed to colonizing the solar system. And I think there are people that can believe it, and I support it. In other words, the question of human expansion into space right now is not so much a material question as a moral question. And by moral, I don't mean as in right and wrong. I mean as in morale, okay? You know, an army with sufficient morale can win a victory when the same army, even if it outnumbers the enemy 10 to 1, will lose the battle because its people don't understand they have the capability of winning the battle. And that's what's needed here. You know, the harvest is plentiful, but the gatherers are few. We need to organize the people who believe in this to do it. Okay, now, You know, the Mars Society.
Sir, excuse me, we actually have a room full of people who want to ask you questions.
All right.
We only have 10 minutes left in this session.
All right, let's take the next question.
Okay, so what I'd like to do is, if you have a question, go ahead and stand up so that I can see you have a question.